I'm done letting fear control my life. Or maybe I should rephrase that and say, I'm done letting fear ruin my life. See, I didn't have a very good childhood. It was difficult, to say the least, and I had to face many challenges. A lot of what has shaped me today. And I've always wondered that if, because of that childhood, because of the difficulties that I had to face, that I was the way I am today. That I was scared of a lot of things because of that. And I guess I kind of use it as an excuse as well. See, I've always seen myself as someone who's quite, what you would describe as a hopeless romantic. And not just for a relationship sense, not just for partners and that typical way of thinking, but a hopeless romantic of life. I've always tried to see the beauty and the romance in everything that I've ever done and everything that I've ever experienced. And I've tried very hard to focus on that. I mean, even without focusing on it, that's just kind of who I am. And I've always seen the best in people, and I've always focused on that side of things. And I guess trying to romanticize life and see the beauty in a lot of it is what actually made me see a lot of the negative. I let a lot of things slide, and I let a lot of people. I gave a lot of people second chances that didn't deserve it. I gave them third and fourth chances, and I got very hurt in the end of it. And I've always tried to romanticize. Like, I've always loved that I romanticize life, and I still do it to today. You know, I still try and focus on that. And honestly, I feel like I lost that. I lost that romanticism, that romance for life. I mean, just the other day I was sat. I went for a walk, and I saw these bees. And honestly, I can't believe I've never like sat there and just. It was a really crazy experience, and I just sat there and I watched these bees just float around this flower bush, and the sun was coming out, and there was a nice cool breeze, and it was nice and quiet and peaceful, and I was just sat there looking at these bees just doing their own thing, and they didn't have a care about the world, they didn't care about anything, and they were just doing what they needed to do, you know. And honestly, I was extremely inspired by that, and it really made me feel something that I been searching for so long. That part of me that used to romanticize life when I was a young kid, where I used to think of everything, I kind of brought that back. And that's when I hit the realization that I was done living in fear of what could be, and started being excited about what could be instead. I always had an answer, always had an excuse for why I couldn't do something or why I shouldn't do something. I would say to myself that I really want to do boxing. Like, for a long time, for years, it was something that I've always wanted to do. It's something I've been very fascinated by. But I would constantly make these excuses. Oh, it's not the right time. Oh, I just can't. Oh, I'm not good at it. I can't find the space. You know, constantly making these excuses to stop me from doing it. And it's the same with many, many other things. And, for so many years, I was um, just gaining weight. I got overweight at around 16 is when I like really got kind of like overweight. That's when I started it. It was when I was 16. I remember looking back and I was like, damn, I've really let myself go. I mean, I used to be very athletic as a kid. I was always like running around, playing football, 6-minute abs, all these kind of stuff. I was very focused on that. And then I guess something kind of just died in me. And I stopped caring about the world, and I stopped caring about a lot of things. And I just fell deeper and deeper into that hole, and I made one bad decision after another. And then I would catch myself and think, okay, well, I need to fix this. And then I would go and make another bad decision after another, and it just kept snowballing in that direction. And you know, then I looked back, and I'm 20 years old. 21. I'm 21 years old, looking back at the last 5 years of excuses, just constantly saying, "Oh, maybe tomorrow, or maybe when this, or if this happens, or I can't do that now." You know, constant excuses all the time. And I only got unhealthier. I only got fatter. I only got more undisciplined, and I only hated my life more. And it was only until I had a really bad breakup, um, that I really decided to change my life. You know, I'd gotten with someone that was really bad for me, and I honestly, I believe that I did it as a way to harm myself, as a way to prove to myself that I didn't deserve some things. But also that side of me that romanticizes everything. You know, I romanticize the idea that, you know, I was with someone who was broken just like me, and we could fix each other, and we could build each other up, and a real life could be made there, you know. And I was really wrong, but I didn't want to admit that I was wrong, and I kept holding on, and I kept romanticizing, and again I kept making excuses, you know. Or she just needs more time. You know, she didn't mean to do that. She didn't mean to hit you. She didn't mean to say these things. She's just feeling bad. She's dealing with her own stuff. Just making excuses constantly, over and over and over and over. And it was this one day where I was tired of it, and I'd been pushed to my absolute limit. I said, "This is enough," you know, and I broke up with her, and I removed everything from my life. I gave up everything, and I went through this process, and I wrote this in my book that I made. My book was written from a personal experience of the things that I actually did. And one of the first things is it's saying it's the art of unbecoming. And I basically removed everything that I didn't want in my life, because I was struggling so hard to figure out what I wanted. And when I did that, I would fall into these constant loops, and I would make excuses of why I couldn't, and da da da. So I decided to remove all the excuses, to remove all of the negatives, all of the things that I didn't want in my life. And it was a very difficult process, and it made me feel very empty, because I basically had nothing. But it put me in such a perfect spot. Because I had nothing, I could have everything. And that was the first time after doing that I actually started boxing. I've been wanting to do it for years. I mean, since I was like a child, like a kid, like 8 years old, I've been wanting to do boxing. And it was only in that moment where I cleared everything that I finally made that decision. I got a gym membership, went to the gym, and I picked up boxing. That was it. I started punching the bag. I made a video on it. And that was it. I just focused on it, and I just did it. And because of that, that was the catalyst for everything that I have now. Everything that I have now and that I've built since then is because of that decision back then, because I chose to choose myself. I chose to stop making excuses, and I went for it. And now I have a punch bag behind the camera in my own house, because I'm so like dedicated and I guess you could say obsessed with boxing. And it really got me back into the gym, something that I wanted to do for a long time. You know, I was very unhappy with my weight, and the way that I looked, and how unhealthy I was feeling, and all these kinds of things. And it created this snowball effect in the other direction. You know, I started working out, I started doing the boxing, I went for runs, I started getting out a lot more, and I started to really enjoy life again. And because of that decision, I started doing things that I wanted to do. And every time I found an excuse, instead of using those excuses as reasons why not to do it, I use them as reasons why I should. And that pushed me towards so many things that I really wanted to do, and I ended up just doing them. And now I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of books. I play chess. I get out so much more. I experience the sun. I do fun things. I play basketball. I play football again. I work out. I do my boxing, and so many other things that I never would have even thought that I could ever achieve or do. Not even a year ago. You know, I've been to Germany as well so many times. Just leaving my own hometown was insane to me. Like to think about. And then yeah, I got on a plane and went 500 miles away. Experienced all of that. That was a really fun time. And there's only more coming as well. Like I've got plans for new places to go to. I've got plans for new things to do. And my boxing's really taken off, and all this stuff. You know. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I still have these moments where I worry and I still get stressed and I overthink about a lot of things. And if there's anything that I've learned about myself, I'm really, really good at talking myself out of things. I'm really good at talking myself out of things. And I have been for so long, and it's something that I have to constantly battle with. I used to play games all the time, and it was something that I was very addicted to, and I enjoyed it so much, and all the people that I was around played games as well, and would constantly, we would be talking about games. And in order to fit in, with this group that I'd made, I would have to play games, you know? And I realized that playing games was not really something I wanted to do. It was more of an excuse to do something because I wasn't doing the other stuff that I actually wanted to do. And one of the hardest decisions I ever made was I stopped playing games altogether. I sold my PC. I had this PC. I sold it. I sold all my equipment. I got rid of it, and I haven't touched games. And it's been like 8 months, and I haven't touched a single game. And there's been so many moments where someone will say, "Oh, you should have played. Oh, why did you do that? Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, take it easy. You could do both." But honestly, I couldn't. I was so addicted, and every time I touched, like I had the option of playing the game, I would always choose that over anything else. But that's not what I actually wanted. I was just so stuck in that way of thinking. And now, if you put that PC back in front of me, I wouldn't even play. I don't want to play anymore. But I was so addicted to it before. And there was so many other things like that, like junk food as well. I was so addicted to junk food. Anytime I'd pass McDonald's, I'd get it. KFC, Burger King, Wingers, Five Guys. I would order it all the time. Subway. And it was racking up so much money as well. And I was just constantly damaging myself. I was damaging my health in so many ways. And once I quit these things and I really stuck to quitting them, eventually I never wanted them anymore, and I haven't wanted them for so long. Like there's sometimes I'll be with friends and they'll be like, "Oh, yo, we should grab like a McDonald's or join a McDonald's." I genuinely don't. Like I don't. It doesn't even cross my mind. I'm like, "Nah, I'm okay, thanks." I've become so happy with what I have now. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat junk food, and I don't play games. And I don't really watch TV. I used to watch TV a lot as well. I've kind of stopped that, but that is something that I still have because I wasn't so addicted to that. But I still do watch stuff. But this is what I mean. Like I don't want sugar anymore. I don't want chocolate. I don't want Coke. I don't want junk food. I don't want to play games. Like what I actually want to do is I want to go do some boxing. I want to work out. I want to get in the sun. I want to go play some football or some basketball. I want to make videos. I want to just enjoy my life in these other ways. And if I hadn't made that decision to go to the gym that day, if I hadn't made that decision, that rash decision, I wouldn't have done any of this. And there was another moment where I was like, I sold my PC and I had some money from it. And I was like, what do I do with this money? And I remember thinking about getting a MacBook because I've always wanted a MacBook. I wanted to get focused on the video creation, and I was traveling a lot. I wanted to travel more. And it was such a difficult decision. And I remembered back to that moment where I was when I wanted to go to the gym and I went to the gym. I remembered back to that moment. And then I just clicked buy. I was like, I'm going to buy it. I'm not even gonna like overthink, because I started like thinking, oh well, what if this? Oh, I shouldn't do this. Da, 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 da. And I caught myself, and I made a split-second decision, and I just stuck to it. And honestly, it's another one of the best decisions I've ever made. The MacBook is so useful. It's been so helpful. It was a really good financial decision. It's been really, really beneficial to me in so many different ways. And I've been doing a lot of things like that where I've spent money on important things that I've wanted, and things that elevate me and push me towards the goals that I want to gain, you know. I can think back to so much money and time that I've spent, and I didn't even think about it. There was no, second thoughts or calculating it. But I spent so much money, you know, on like takeaway and junk and just random little things that I wanted in that moment, or like Fortnite skins. So the biggest takeaway from all of this is that I used to let fear run my life. I used to be worried about so many things, and I'm done with that. I don't allow it anymore. I mean, there are definitely moments where I get a little stuck on it, and I start to overthink, and I start to fear, and I second guess, and I question myself. But just as I said earlier, and I said this to myself today as well, the simple fact that I'm scared to do it, and that I'm overthinking, and I'm worried, and I'm seeing all the negative, is the exact reason as to why I should do it and why I must do it. So if you take anything from this video, if you take away anything from this video, don't be scared. Do the things you want to do. Take the leap. Go forward. It matters. It means something. Don't waste your life. You only have a finite time on this earth. There are so many things that you could achieve, so many things that you could do. I'm telling you, just go for it. Don't waste this moment. Don't waste these opportunities. Don't waste your life. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. If you feel like you've gone too far, you haven't gone too far. Okay, because I had those thoughts. I'm 22 years old. I was 21 a year ago, 21, and I was like, I'm 21 years old. I've wasted so much of my life. I've just sat inside playing games, and I've gotten fat, and I've just wasted my life away. And I couldn't have been more wrong. I am so far ahead in life compared to where I used to be, and I've done so many things that I never thought I could possibly do. And I already have plans set up for so many more things. I'm telling you, you are not too far gone. It's not too late. You can do the things you want to do, and you can achieve the goals that you set out to achieve. Like, I say that from a personal perspective, a personal experience. I'm not just some guy like talking nonsense and saying things. Like, I went through it. I've been down in the dumps. I've been in the lowest of lowest, and I made it out. You know? I mean, it got so bad to a point I was homeless and I was on the streets, and I got put in a hostel, and I lived in a hostel for a year, and it was one of the worst times of my life. It was terrible, and I still made it out with that to where I am now. And I have my own place. I have a beautiful girlfriend who loves me very much. I do my boxing. I play basketball. I play football. I work out. I eat healthy, and I make videos, and I enjoy my life. And this is just the beginning of it. This is just the start. And the whole point in this channel is just to constantly document the fun, interesting things that I do, and in hopes that I can inspire someone else to do the same, to go out, enjoy their life, and experience things. Because that's my motto, like that's the only thing I want to live by is go live free. Go. That's it.